a dance thing there, and I don't know what they call it.
Now, you're talking. What year that would have been?
In the 40s.
In the 40s. That's what you said. Was there any kind of like Black Portuguese discrimination again, or these establishments were strictly Portuguese people, and there were no? What,
No, they weren't.
all combination, everybody, anybody. So, did you dance, or did you just like a wallflower and watch everyone else dance?
I just watched the guys drink beer.
You didn't drink beer?
I didn't dance.
You didn't dance? Are you serious?
My brother's the one danced.
You know, I could have sworn from just, places when, like with mom and dad, like weddings or something, you dance. But so you did, man, so that's
what...
what...
I did dance. I don't know why he says he didn't dance.
But I guess when he went to these establishments, you didn't see any... Mom was never at these fine establishments. Because she was too young. She was only 8 years old in the 40s. I'm sorry. Okay, so did you drink alcohol? None whatsoever?
Oh, once in a while, maybe.
Oh, really? It wasn't something... Did you smoke cigarettes?
Choice.
Did you smoke cigarettes?
I can remember I was old enough, and stopped at Casablanca.
What's Casablanca?
And
is that an
that was
establishment?
the name of a joint that was halfway between Pixley and Tipton.
And what did you do there?
John Bencourt's got part of that building that says Casablanca on it too.
Oh, on his ranch here?
On his ranch.
Really? But what did you do at this
and
joint?
We stopped there to...
Don't look at me. I wasn't there at the time.
What did you do in Casablanca?
Well, we stopped there for a
drink? And then you went to Tony?
They wouldn't give it to us because they said we weren't old enough. And I was over 21 already.
Oh, really? So you didn't have any kind of ID in those days? They didn't give you ID unless maybe you were in the military, but that would have been wartime anyway.
Use it. I don't know.
So you didn't have to have a driver's license to drive?
Yes, you did.
So you couldn't use that as an ID?
And I got one before I was 16.
Because at that time, I don't think young kids would go to bars like they try to go in now.
Oh, so the drinking age, there wasn't... I wonder when the drinking age of 21 was first established. After the Prohibition?
There was a time there.
No, but...
there was a time there that alcohol was banned.
There was Prohibition. And it was,
Prohibition,
it would call it black... What do you call it when it was, the mafia had it.
And the first day it opened up, opened up so anybody could drink. One of our neighbors stopped over there drunk her egg, he couldn't drive.
Oh, really? He was dry a long time. And what neighbor was that? Oh, no, we won't say names. So, let's see. So
Let your mother answer questions. I'm tired.
Okay. All right. That's all you need to say. Okay, Mom. Dad's tired. He's gonna go back in time and think of the Casablanca days. Okay. So, Mom, we want to talk about your school days. You went to school, several schools.
I went to about 3 grammar schools. Yes.
But you graduated 8th grade.
Graduated 8th grade, went to Thor Union High School for the 4 years and graduated.
Now, while in high school...
While I was in high school, I just caught the bus, went to school, came home on the bus, and that was it.
And what did you do when you got home?
When I got home, I had a snack.
She had a snack?
What
kind of snack?
I used to get home at about just before 4 o'clock, and Stella Dallas, which was a soapy on radio. I had to listen to that all the time.
Stella Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I had to listen to that. And then I really didn't do too much. We just kind of puttered around the house, or
you and your 2 brothers
went out and see what they were doing at the barn or something like that. Or
you had chickens already at that time?
Mother had chickens and had a dog, and there was a cat running around.
Oh, yeah. And horses. I remember, wasn't it you that, I think the Vajanese used to say that you walked into the horse corral one time?
No, I think you got the wrong animal. I think I was a little teeny girl. They had this big old bull, and it was in a corral, of course.
Yeah.
And I got underneath the wire and walked clear across the corral, and this bull behind me all the time, and they were just scared to death that it was going to get me. But just calmly walked across, and the bull just followed me, and I got out.
Oh my gosh!
Nothing happened.
Did you get a spanking?
No, I can't remember. I can't.
Now, how old were you?
I cannot remember getting spanked at all at home.
Do you remember how old? Really? But I thought Vajanese was strict.
But he wasn't the type to hit, though.
He just vocal.
Yeah, but he wasn't really. I can't remember getting spanked. Hardly. I just can't remember that.
So do you remember how old you were with the bull following you?
Gosh, I would say, I think I was still in Page. It was before school, probably 4 years old.
See?
Something like that.
So you know, you can remember stuff
I
when
can
you're.
remember that.
But can you close your eyes and picture it?
Well, I didn't see. I couldn't even. I can't picture the bull. No,
Oh.
because I didn't know it was there. I was just walking across. You
Interesting.
know. And when I got to the other end, I guess my parents were
I'm
happy
grateful.
that I got there.
The bull's trying to figure what that was.
But yeah, probably wondered, what's this strange creature here?
So like in high school.
High school, to see, all I did was go to school, do
Well-
my work. We didn't go to any activities. I did have PE.
Mhm.
Enjoyed sports. We had badminton. I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Baseball.
What your classes stand out in your mind as something that you enjoyed?
Well, mainly, I don't know, sports, I would think.
Really? And I would think that of you.
No, I enjoyed baseball. Even in grammar school, I liked to play baseball.
So that's maybe where the
Basketball.
the boys get their athletic
Oh yes.
interest.
I know.
Dad, did you go out for
Yeah, the
sports?
boys and girls played basketball
Oh yeah.
and baseball.
Huh.
Yeah, I think we all basically do the same
Uh-huh,
thing.
uh-huh.
But class-wise, I mean, I don't think there's anything really.
Shorthand. I remember you took
I had
shorthand.
shorthand, yeah, did that.
Yeah. Typing.
Had to have typing.
Wow. And in high school, did you think you were going to go on to college or that?
Oh no. My
That's-
dad really never did care too much for high school.
He didn't like you going to high
No,
school
he wasn't too much for going to high school.
because
Well, he just didn't think
girls belonged in
girls
school.
belonged in high school, I guess.
He was pretty.
He was strict.
No, but I mean, a woman's place is at home,
Right.
and a
That's
man's
what it
place
was.
is working to provide for the home.
That's what my dad was. That's the way he was raised, and that was his philosophy of life.
So how is it that you? So you never drove. They didn't teach you how to drive.
Dad tried to teach me one time how to drive with a pickup,
Uh-huh.
and that's about it. But I never really drove.
Oh,
But he
uh-huh.
tried.
How come he tried to teach you how to drive when that was kind of like?
Oh, huh? What happened there?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe figured someday I would need to drive
Uh-huh.
somebody in. I have no idea.
So you graduated in
In high school, you mean?
31?
What, high school?
Yes.
Oh, no, I
19
graduated
20.
in 50.
I'm sorry, 31. Dad and Mom, I'm getting you guys mixed up. You
No,
were
I
born in
graduated
32.
Yeah, I
So you
graduated in 50.
50. And is there still some people here in Tipton that you graduated with? Didn't Lorraine Prayer
Well,
graduate?
Clarence graduated with me.
Oh,
and
Clarence.
Then Lorraine was a year behind, I
Oh,
believe.
I remember seeing, and you still have your yearbooks, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I have them, yeah.
Yeah, you need to. Dad, you never got any kind of
I
school
had
pictures?
yearbooks. I had a
Class ring?
Had a class sweater.
Sweater? How'd you get the class sweater?
Well, you just order it if you want it.
Wow.
And they put the emblem on the side with TUH.
Have you looked at that lately?
Well, I think the moths got to it, so we had
darn.
to toss it out because it was wool.
Oh,
it was 100%
that's
wool
too
at
bad.
the time. It was just a really nice
That's too bad.
sweater.
Maybe they could have sent you
But I never did go to a game or anything like that.
or dance.
No,
Did you have
never.
desire to, and just were just
Not really. The
Were
group
you
I ran around with really didn't do too much either, I guess. So
All
we just-
Portuguese?
Mostly, yeah.
No American?
There was a few,
Oh, yeah.
but most of them
Uh-huh.
were Portuguese girls.
So, what were your ambitions? Did you think you were going to get married and have a bunch of kids one day, or what did you?
Well, I guess I thought I was going to get married someday. I don't know about a bunch of kids. I don't think 5 at the time was a bunch of kids. No,
Really?
I guess it is.
Well,
it turned out
a
okay.
bunch.
We've had wonderful kids so far.
She's talking about me especially.
So
Anyway.
it's been okay.
No. So how did you lucky fellers meet?
Well, because his parents and my parents knew each other, and
Even back in Azores.
yeah, my mother-in-law was from the same village my dad was, and they kind of knew the families. And then when we moved over to the Enterprise District, well,
Which is on West Street,
yeah, Dad's sister Mary was married
to
to
San
San Barbara, and
Barbara.
they lived right across the street.
Where the Reno house is?
Yeah, they lived there for about a year.
But not
after-
right where the Reno house
No, it
is.
was in a smaller home. They had a
Be
dairy
darned.
there.
I didn't know that they lived right across.
Yeah, they had a smaller home.
So
there.
sometimes Dad.
Well, I don't know if we used to get together and go over to Mary's for things, or they'd come over, and that's.
So like, how long did you know this man before you married him?
One time the family was invited to
Denise's.
the Denise family
Oh,
Probably.
for Marcella because her uncle was there from the Azores.
So how long did you folks know each other?
Probably 6 months before we got married.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Well, really, we probably knew,
Well, I used to know you.
I know from this
But-
difference between knowing somebody and then seeing somebody was about 6 months.
Oh, really? Did he know? Did you know he wanted to marry you, or did you first found out when he went to Papa and asked for your hand in marriage?
You have to ask Dad that.
Dad was 33 when he got married. Mom was. How much was it?
20.
20. Oh, that's right. 13 years.
No, I
apart.
asked her one time, and I said I was tired of sleeping alone. That if she was interested, and she says, yeah.
Oh, but you should ask. I love you. I don't want to live without you. Will you share my life together? No, I was tired of sleeping alone.
The typical man.
Can you imagine? Dad.
That could have gone unsaid too.
I know, Dad.
Could have done what?
Could have gone unsaid.
Oh,
Oh, well.
But what we did, you talked about activities, what did we do? Well, the things I remember doing for fun was like if they had a matanza, which is they'd kill a hog, and we'd have arm swelling. And
They killed that at your place several times? Did you
a
have...
couple of times,
Oh, yeah?
not too much, but I remember some of it. And going to festas, I guess, the Holy Ghost celebrations, and what else did we do? I don't know. Or for Christmas, we just maybe sometimes go up to Gustine and visit the relatives there. We did that a lot. My mother's family was in Gustine, so Dad did drive us up there a lot for that. We'd go and
Baba's
come
family
and-
wasn't...
What?
Baba's family wasn't around here.
No,
So-
he had nobody. Well, he had a brother in Dos Palos, so we'd always stop and see him too. But he died already. But I remember going up and we'd always take some food or something because there was no restaurants or anything, so we'd have to.
Snack in the car?
Yeah, and there was no restrooms
Of
around,
course.
so I have to stop, of course, with kids, and then.
But we gotta think back too. I mean, Gustine is less than 3 hours or 3 hours? No, how many miles today? How long would it take you to get to
Today,
Gustine?
probably what, 2.5 hours?
But in those days, what, it was a whole day trip?
No, I don't think so. But before we left my grandma, she always had to give us food.
Yeah, just like
And,
Baba Denise.
yeah, and of course, before we even got halfway out of her lane, we practically eating her food already.
What kind of food did she give you guys?
I can't remember if it was fruit or anything she had, she'd give.
Oh, really?
And I remember her making the pie. She didn't have a rolling pin. She would just pat out her dough, and that would be her crust, and she'd bake. But anything she had, I really can't remember exactly what food, but she'd always have to give us something. Take it home, take it home. So, we had a nice time there.
Those were the good days, huh, Mom?
Well, yeah, my grandmother, I remember at the time, I remember my grandfather, but when he died, then my grandma stayed living with her twin sons all the time
With
until
their-
she became ill.
With their families.
No, they weren't married yet.
oh,
When they were single, they lived with her. And then one son got married and lived in another little house, but the other son, when he got married, he just stayed and lived with my grandmother.
Until she died? Or...
Well, then she got ill and she went into a convalescent
Oh, she
hospital.
did? I didn't know that. I thought she died at home for some reason.
No, she just got a stroke and they found her outside, so
And how old was she when...
she was at home, and then she stayed home for a while with different ones coming in to stay with her. But then they finally had to put her in a convalescent hospital.
And that was... How,
I can't remember what year that was. It's been a while.
60? 50? Well, because I remember her, and I was born in 56.
I would say
It must
in
have been the
60s.
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 So she was... You don't remember how old she was?
No, I had it on the note, but I
Okay.
can't remember right now.
Well, we'll have to just like read the dates off of there, so that way, in case the paper gets lost, we have it on film. Now let's see.
But my grandfather died at home.
Oh, he did.
Mm-hmm.
And
He was in his 60s, I believe, but he, of course, at the time they didn't go to the doctors either. So he died of a stroke at home. He had high blood pressure apparently, and he was deaf for a number of years. He became deaf. He couldn't hear.
that was after the stroke.
No, before the stroke, he kept losing his hearing, and then he
dear.
couldn't hear, and he died at home. I don't know how long he was ill, but it wasn't too long before he passed.
Do you remember him?
I remember him. Yes.
Remember him being healthy before he became sick, or?
Well, as far as I knew, he was okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mom said he was always healthy.
He was a tall man.
No, not
No,
this
not. Oh, no,
grandfather.
that's right.
My
it was-
great grandfather was a tall fella.
That's right.
That was my mother's grandfather.
That's right. That's right.
Lived in the Azores. He was a tall fella.
Yeah. In that picture, which weren't even taken. In that picture, they weren't even. They were taking the picture together. I thought you said
Yeah.
that's two separate pictures they
Right.
put together, which looked kind of cool. Okay, so we got the what was school like, what you did for fun. Do we want to talk now, you two as a couple, or do we want to pause and see where we want to take
Probably
this?
should pause for a little bit.
Okay.
Are we ready now? We were talking about last time about I was asked what did we do for fun or something like that, and I kind of forgot a few little things, but we did the old-fashioned games, I guess, jacks and hopscotch and hide and seek, and we used to throw the ball over the house, but I don't know what that was called. The other guy should catch it on the other side. That's about all we did when we were
And that was
young at home, when we were home with my mom and dad.
Did Baba participate in playing with you
No,
guys?
not really. Dad, if he wasn't out working, he was home resting or, taking a nap. And Mom, I guess, was doing her usual thing,
Baking bread.
baking bread.
Did she make painted cookies then?
No, she didn't. She used to, let me see, she had chickens she used to take care of, and she raised some eggs, and she used to sell those. And
Did she sell those from her house, or did she have to take them into town?
no, she had to drive into town and sell them to some fellow there on Junio Street, and he was a Jewish fellow, and I guess he was pretty, you have to watch him carefully because he didn't want to pay too much.
And you remember he was Jewish?
I remember going with my mother, and I knew he was Jewish because I remember the saying was that, Jewish people are really tight, and they're really stingy with their money at the time. Anyway, that's what we used to hear.
Did he dress differently? Because, sometimes you see...
I don't remember what he dressed like. He was just a little fella, and they're in town. I guess everybody knew him.
Because, like in Tulare, you wouldn't think there were too many Jewish people.
Well, there was I think Dad remembers his name. Don't you, Frank, remember his name? He used to be there on Junio Street.
Egg buyer.
Well, I think he had a feed store or something. It wasn't just buying eggs. He sort of had feed for chickens.
I think his name is Zal.
Well, I don't know what his name was.
Was.
Zal was his last name or first name?
And I guess that was about really all I can remember.
When, what kind of work did Roy Denise do?
My dad was a farmer. He had, cattle and used to have dairy and.
He did? He had a dairy? Oh yeah, I guess I remember
A
talking
small
about the
dairy. Of course, years ago, everybody had something. It wasn't nothing too large, and used to raise some hay. And then he left to play cards, and he'd go into town, and there was a little tavern in town. He'd like to go play cards there with his friends, and he used to do that in the evenings sometimes.
Without Baba?
Without my mother. It was just a guy thing, I guess, at the
Did
time.
Baba like that? Or did she just tell you that she didn't like Baba going into town?
No, she really didn't say too much. Not, and if she did say anything, it wasn't in front of us. I never remember them, talking about things like that in front of us.
Did Baba have wine with their meals?
No, my parents didn't have wine.
They never drank, as far as you know, huh?
Mostly coffee and
Milk?
Yeah, lots of milk. Oh,
From
yeah.
the dairy? All of you guys had
Oh, yeah, it
milk?
was raw milk
Wow.
and raw eggs, if there's such a thing as raw eggs.
Yeah, well, it didn't go through the, whatever process it goes through now.
And that's basically it. It was real quiet life for us. And
Until you
went to
got
school.
married. Oh, then it was just...
Oh, I know. We got married in 52.
52.
And
You got married in
52.
on April 19th,
which is
1952.
Someone's been telling me it's gonna counts the days to the 19th today. He's always saying, "You know it's coming up." I said, "No, I don't."
Dad's been telling you? Oh, is Dad planning a big...
I guess he's planning something big that I don't know about. But anyway,
Ah, and
we
how
got
many
married
years?
on the 19th.
Uh-huh.
In 52, it's going to be 48 years.
And that was a Saturday or a
We
Sunday?
got married. At the time, we had to get married during Mass, which was a Sunday. We had to and people went to Mass, and then you had a wedding. I mean, it's just parishioners were there, and we had to get married at the church.
And we do have some video taping, video film
Oh,
of
that's
the
true.
wedding. You
That's
guys had
true.
converted.
And we did
You've
some
seen
photos.
that, at least to the outside portion.
St.
also.
Aloysius is where we got married at.
So you got married on Sunday, and then you had a reception kind of, or
Yeah.
dinner?
Well,
Dinner?
We had to get married at 10 o'clock, I think. We had to get married during the Mass, and I think it was at 10.
Uh-huh.
Then we had lunch, and then that night we had a dance too.
Really?
Yeah, but it happened to be the same night as Harry James came into Hanford, and he was a very well-known band.
Yes.
So we really didn't have too many people there.
Are you kidding me? They opted for Harry James instead
Well,
of
heck
Frank
yes,
and
Harry
Dolores
James. He
Jr.'s
was married to Betty Grable. She was a pin-up queen of the World War II. Everybody in their barracks had her pin-up picture behind their little
Their bed-
locker or
Oh, yeah?
whatever it
But
was.
Harry James, did he bring down Betty Grable when he performed?
I don't think so.
Oh, my gosh.
And then a year later we had Elizabeth.
Yeah.
She was born on her dad's birthday, which he don't let anybody forget. He was born on her birthday,
She was
his
born-
birthday,
Yeah.
and it was Friday the 13th.
And how many hours of labor were you
Oh,
in?
please, we don't want to go into that. Everything was
It was
fine.
days and days
Everything
and days.
was fine.
No, I'm serious. It was a long
No,
labor.
no. And then after that we had Cecilia. Then we had...
In 53 we had
50
Elizabeth. In 56 we had me,
Right.
Cecilia. 57.
we had Frank,
Frank.
named after his dad.
uh,
And then
60.
in 1960.
1960. was
We had
Jim.
James Joseph, which I wish I had never called him Jim. I wish I'd stuck with James. And then we had Richard, our youngest.
And 66.
And, everyone told me not to call him Richard because they thought we were going to name him, call him Dick. I says, no way, it's going to be Richard. And thank God it's been Richard from day
You
one.
know what? Everyone's really been calling him Richard. No one's never said Rich, huh?
Never. It's always just been Richard, thank God.
Yeah.
Elizabeth is the one that I wished I had always called her Liz, but it just stuck, so
Yeah.
it's Liz.
And you know, how about that Cecilia?
Well, Cecilia.
No one got...
Well, Cecilia, I didn't want the name Cecilia. I wanted Cynthia. And my mother-in-law kept saying, you don't want Cynthia because it sounds like it's an undergarment in Portuguese, which means like under a slip or something. So I kind of let it go and went to Cecilia Ann.
How did you come up with our names? Elizabeth was named after someone, or just you liked the name? Or?
No, I think we just kind of picked him out of the blue sky, I guess. Of course, Frank we had no problem with.
Then
and
Jim,
then-
you named him after Dr. McNerney.
I named Jim after my doctor, Jamie. He was James Joseph. That's
Dr.
right.
McNerney's name was James Joseph?
Yes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then when Jim was confirmed, he put in
Ja-
Jacob. So he's got all four J's.
James Joseph
anyway.
Jacob. And then Richard was named after...
Richard's named after nobody.
Oh, I thought it was named after Richard Smith, the car parts man.
No,
the garage
no,
guy.
not really. Now, Frank's middle name was named after my brother
Yeah,
that had passed
Eugene.
away. We named him
Yeah.
Eugene. And then, of course, they did their usual thing. And when they got a little older, I guess, Dad can tell you where we went on some of our trips when the kids got a little bit older. Frank, where did we go?
I think your first...
Well, we used to go up the coast a lot when my in-laws lived, during
Yeah.
the summer they would live there, and we'd go down there and see them and stay with them, and they were always very good to us. Can't complain about my in-laws. And
I remember
really,
going...
they were super duper. And my sister-in-law May too was really good.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, when the kids got a little older, we took some trips. Frank, where did we head for?
What was the first
time?
trip, Dad? I think it was...
Before we took trips together, I went on a trip without my wife to Racine, Wisconsin. That was the first long flight I had. And it was just...
This was your first, oh yeah, well,
It was just a one-day trip.
you would-
We went one day, came back the next.
And that was with Frankie
No,
Borba?
we went one day, yeah, came back the next at night.
That was with Frankie Borba, though. Right?
I went with Frank, I went because Frank Alves
Frank
asked me
Alves.
to go with him.
Yeah, he passed away already.
And
And what was the other, then after that we went on,
we went on a Caribbean cruise,
was that our first trip, was it Caribbean cruise?
flew from LA to Florida, Miami that is. Caught a cruise boat, went to Haiti, got off there and took a tour in the island. And then from there we went to
I remember when you guys came back. You...
Jamaica. And in Jamaica we went to Ocho Rios and Jamaica. And that was a beautiful country, Jamaica.
Well, I remember one of the things you told us when you came back was what a poor country, what a poor country.
Yeah,
That was Haiti.
that is Haiti and all that really, they are very poor country.
But Jamaica was beautiful, huh?
Well, it's like, it's got mountains of greenery and it's out in the ocean, surrounded by ocean. and
No,
it's-
Haiti was 100 years behind us.
Yeah, it was a poor country.
And then we took a trip to,
Hawaii next, I thought.
we went to